Hey guys, Water24 here from MondayMorningMTG.com, and today I'm going to try something a little different. Now, if any of you followed the PAX East coverage, or looked at any of their events, or even went, they had an event where they did a sealed booster pack deck, where, sealed, you take 6 packs and you build a 40-card deck out of it, including all the land, and they took one of everything in Standard. So here I have one booster pack of everything in Standard: an Innistrad, Dark Ascension, Avacyn Restored, M13, Return to Ravnica, and Gatecrash. I was able to get these 5 from my local game store, but they were out of Innistrad, so I got the thing from Walmart and the stupid little paper thing there. But I bought one of each pack in the intention of building a sealed deck on camera using things out of each of these packs. So let's see what I get, and I will build a deck right here on camera of all current standard decks, or current standard packs. And of course this is while there are 6 currently in standard, so let me just go ahead and stack these. I'm going to start out with Innistrad, see what cool things I get out of this. And I don't actually have my land box up here with me, so I might actually stop the camera when I go to add land, or I'll just determine what land to add and just say what I'm adding and then show you how it works. Okay, so out of Innistrad we have Kindercatch 6/6 for triple green and 3. Really kind of expensive. Crossway Vampire, 2 red and a colorless for 3/2. Enters the battlefield, target creature can't block this turn. So I might be doing something with red. Lost in the Mist, double blue and 3, counter target spell, returning target permanent to its owner's hand. Dual purpose, Traveler's Amulet, a colorless for the artifact, and then you pay 1 and sacrifice it. Search your library for a basic land card. And then put that into your hand, shuffle your library after you reveal it. Typhoid Rats, a black for a death touch, and it's 1/1. Given that there are 6 different packs and you have guilds in Return to Ravnica and Gatecrash, I might just do 3 color, because it just might work that way. Treacherous Blood, double red and a colorless for gain control of target creature until end of turn. Untap it, gains trample and haste until end of turn. Not bad for stealing your opponent's stuff. Markov Patrician, a black, 2 colorless for lifelink and 3/1. Okay, so I'm thinking right now black and red, given the fact that we have Crossway Vampire, Typhoid Rats, Death Touch 1/1, that's pretty good, and Treacherous Blood, and then Markov Patrician. I'm thinking black-red at the moment. Alright, Citrus Apprentice, blue and a colorless for 1/2, and then you pay the same as its casting cost to put a 2/2 blue homunculus creature token on the battlefield, and then you sacrifice a creature. Probably not. Mulch, reveal the top 4 cards of your library, put all land cards revealed this way into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. And that's better for standard Junk Reanimator. Trepanation Blade for milling and adding stuff. It's 3 colorless, equip 2. The text actually reads, whenever equipped creature attacks, defending player reveals cards from the top of his or her library until he or she reveals a land card. The creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn for each card revealed this way. And that includes the land. So if they mill 5 and then hit a land, it's +6/+0. And then the target player the player that mills, or the defending player reveals cards into his or her graveyard. And this is just when it attacks, not when it deals damage. Alright, then we have Falconwrath Noble, 1 black, 3 colorless for 2/2 with flying, and when it or another creature dies, target player loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Okay. Okay, I'm seeing some connections with Orzhov there. So there may be some white, red, black action going on in the deck. Double red and 2 for Skurzdag Cultist for 2/2. You can pay 1 red, sacrifice a creature. It deals 2 damage to target creature or player. Interesting. Geisthonor Monk's the rare for double white and 3 colorless for a star. It has vigilance, and when its power and toughness is each equal to the number of creatures you control. And When it enters the battlefield, you put 2 1/1 white spirit creature tokens with flying on the battlefield. If this is the only thing to enter, then it's a 3/3 because of the 2 spirits. And we have the flip Throbbing Sentry, a white 3 colorless for vigilance, and whenever another creature you control dies, you may transform Throbbing Sentry from a 2/2 to a 5/4 with trample. Excuse me. I've been sick recently, so I'm not feeling the best. Okay. Looking at Dark Ascension now. Nothing ever really opens right for me anymore with PAX. Okay. Alright, ideally, let's think a Sorin, perhaps. It would fit with a white, red, black theme. Okay. Forge Devil, 1 red for 1/1. When it enters the battlefield, it deals 1 damage to target creature and 1 damage to you. Not the best thing. Death's Caress, double black and 3. Destroy target creature. If the creature is a human, you gain life equal to its toughness. Possibly. Russet Wolves, a red and 3 colors for 3/3. Not the best, but possibly. Artful Dodge, a blue, and target creature is unblockable this turn. And you also have the flashback. Cost of 1 blue. Hollowhenge Beast, double green, and 3 for 5/5. Scorch the Fields, a red, plus 4. Destroy target land, Scorch the Fields, deals 1 damage to each human creature. Summerwald Dryad, a green and 1 for 2/2 with Forest Walk. Okay. Double blue and 2 for counter target creature spell, draw a card. Possibly. Gather the Townsfolk, a white and 1 to put 2 1/1 white human creature tokens on the battlefield. If you have 5 or less life, you put 5 tokens on the battlefield. So I'm thinking white, red, black at this point, because I have enough awesome red stuff, some awesome white stuff with Gather the Townsfolk especially, and then I have some nice black from the Innistrad, so I think that's what I'm going to go with. Alright, a red and 5 for 4/4 with haste. Enters the battlefield, up to 2 target creatures can't block this turn. Okay. Burning Oil, a red and a colorless for dealing 3 damage to target attacking or blocking creature. And then flashback of a white and 3. Throbbing Heretic, 1 white and 1 for 2/2, and you can tap to exile a target creature card from a graveyard. And we have Throbbing Doomsayer, double white and a colorless for a 2/2, and you tap to put a 1/1 white human creature token on the battlefield. And as long as you have 5 or less life, other creatures you control get +2/+2. That's going in there. And the humans, we have a Loyal Cathar, double white 2/2. When it dies, return to the battlefield transformed under your control at the beginning of your next end step. Becomes a 2/1 that can't block. So, interesting. Of course, got an island there. So far, white, red, black. Excuse me a moment. Alright, Avacyn Restored. If I get a Silverblade Paladin, definitely going with white, red, black. But we shall see. Banners Raised. Creatures you control get +1/+0 until end of turn. It's for 1 red. Moorland Inquisitor, a white and 1 for 2/2. And for 2 and a white, it gains first strike until end of turn. Outwit, 1 blue to counter target spell that targets player. 1 white and 1 for a 2/1 with vigilance. Amass the components, blue and 3 to draw 3 cards and put a card from your hand on the bottom of your library. Double white and 4 for a 3/3 with flying. When Voice of the Provinces enters the battlefield, to put a 1/1 white human creature token on the battlefield. Maybe. Appeal from Reality, a blue and 1 to return target creature you don't control and target creature you control and target creature you don't control to their owner's hands. Snare the Skies is a green, and target creature gets +1/+1 and gains reach until end of turn. Mad Prophet has haste. It's 2/2, a red and a 1 red and 3 and you can tap to discard a card and then draw a card. So the whole cycling cards, I don't really see that as a good thing in Sealed, at least. It might be useful for something in Standard, or probably Modern. Mental Agony, a black and 3. Target player discards 2 cards and loses 2 life. Angelic Armaments, 3, equip cost of 4, and it gets +2/+2, has flying, and is a white angel in addition to its other colors and types. Favorable Winds, a blue and 1, creatures you control with flying get +1/+1. Barter and Blood, double black and 2, for each player sacrifices 2 creatures. And Wolfir Silverheart, okay. Double green and 3 for 4/4 with Soul Bond, and as long as it is paired with another creature, each of those creatures gets +4/+4. Zombie Token, Island. Okay, so not as amazing as some other stuff, but there's some useful stuff like Banners Raised. That would be good. But I'm not going to go with green. I'm thinking definitely white, red, black. But it also depends on what the rest of the packs have. But I'll have to sort stuff and see what all is here. Okay. Foil, no foil. Trumpet Blast, red and 2. Attacking creatures get +2/+0 until end of turn. Fog is 1 green. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt this turn. White and colorless for target creature gets +2/+4 until end of turn. Deadly Recluse, green and 1 for 1/2 with reach and death touch. Angel's Mercy, double white and 2 to gain 7 life. White Sun's Passage in Scars of Mirrodin was 2 mana for 5 versus 4 mana for 7. Yeah, not the best then. Essence Drain, a black and 4, and deals 3 damage to target creature or player, and you gain 3 life. Bit costly, but possible. Elvish Visionary, a green and 1 for 1/1, and when it enters the battlefield, you draw a card. Crater Eyes, a red and 3 to destroy target land. Essence Scatter, blue and 1 to counter target creature spell. Dragon Hatchling, red and 1 for 0/1 with flying, and you can pay a red, and it gets +1/+0 until end of turn. You can pay that as many times as you want, so interesting. Torch Fiend, red and 1 for 2/1, and you can pay a red, sacrifice to destroy target artifact. Veilborn Ghoul, black and 4 for 4/1. It can't block, and whenever a swamp enters the battlefield under your control, you may return it from your graveyard to your hand. Okay. Sarah Angel, double white and 3 for 4/4 with flying and vigilance. Disciple of Bolas is the rare, a black and 3. When it enters the battlefield, sacrifice another creature, you gain X life and draw X cards where X is that creature's power, and this is a 2/1. So, yeah, it's possible that might run that. It's not as amazing with what else I've seen, but we could do something. And all my lands seem to be islands for some odd reason. Dark Ascension, Avacyn Restored, M13, all islands. Okay, moving on to Return to Ravnica. Okay, Survey the Wreckage. Red and 4, destroy target land, and you put a 1/1 red goblin creature token on the battlefield. Aerial Predation, a green and 2, destroy target creature with flying, you gain 2 life. Chronic Flooding, blue and 1, enchant land. Whenever enchanted land becomes tapped, its controller puts the top 3 cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard. That'd be good in blue. Vassal Soul, 1 colorless, and any mix of 2 white or 2 blue or white and blue. Flying for 2/2. Possible. Skullrend, 3, a black and a red. Deals 2 damage to each opponent. Those players each discard 2 cards at random. Keening Apparition, a white and 1 for 2/2, and you can sacrifice it to destroy target enchantment. Ogre Jailbreaker, it's a black and 3 for 4/4. It's got Defender, and it can attack as though you didn't have Defender as long as you control a gate. Possible. Asperious Skywatch, blue and 5 for 3/3 with flying, and when it enters the battlefield, detain target creature and opponent controls. Rubbleback Rhino, green and 4 for 3/4 with hexproof. Azorius Arrestor, 2/1 for it's a white and 1 for 2/1, and when it enters the battlefield, detain target creature and opponent controls. Aqua Steed, blue and 3 for 1/3. You can pay 2 and a blue to tap it, and target creature gets -2/-0 until end of turn. Rogue's Passage. So I didn't have any guild gates in there at all. So I'm hoping for a Boros or Orzhov out of the next one. Rogue's Passage. Tap for a colorless mana, or pay 4 and tap to make target creature unblockable. Judge's Familiar. Either a white or blue for a 1/1 with flying. You can sacrifice and counter target instant or sorcery spell unless its controller pays 1. We have Collective Blessing. A white, double green, and 3. For creatures you control, get +3/+3. We have Swamp. Okay. Really not the best pack for what I'm going for here. What do we have in the Gatecrash booster? Which is the last booster, by the way, in case you weren't keeping track. Okay. Scab Clan Charger. 1 green and 3 for a 2/4, and it also has Blood Rush, where a target attacking creature gets +2/+4 until end of turn, with the 1 green and 1. Leyline Phantom, blue and 4 for 5/5, that when it deals combat damage, return to its owner's hand. Aerial Maneuver, white and 1, target creature gets +1/+1, gains flying and first strike until end of turn. Basilica Screecher, 1/2 for a black and 1. It's got flying and extort. Death Cult Rogue, double blue or double black, or blue and a black +1. That's a 2/2 and can't be blocked except by rogues. Hydroform, a blue and a green. Target land becomes a 3/3 elemental creature with flying until end of turn. It's still a land. Skyblinder's Staff. Pay 1 to cast it. Equipped creature gets +1/+0 and can't be blocked by creatures with flying. And it's equip 3. Nav Squad Commandos. White and 4 for 3/5. And it has Battalion, so whenever it and at least 2 others attack, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn. And you can untap it. Verdant Haven, green and 2 to enchant land. When it enters the battlefield, you gain 2 life. Whenever enchanted land is tapped for mana, his controller adds 1 mana of any color to his or her mana pool. So if you equip this to a forest, you get green and then any other color you want. Horror of the Dim, black and 4 for 3/4. You can pay a blue for it to gain hexproof until end of turn. Nimbus Swimmer, it's 0/0, and there were no guild gates at all. So Ogre Jailbreaker's out, I think. It's 0/0, that's blue, green, and X. And it's flying and it enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it. Where X, of course, is that number that you pay. Crackling Perimeter, a red and colorless. Tap an untapped gate you control, it deals 1 damage to each opponent. Simic Flux Mage. Evolve, and it's 1/2. It's blue and 2 colorless. It's got Evolve, and you can pay a blue and a colorless and tap it and move a +1/+1 counter from it onto target creature. And then we have Sepulchral Primordial, and that is double black and 5 for 5/4 with Intimidate. And enters the battlefield. For each opponent, you may put up to 1 target creature card from that player's graveyard on the battlefield under your control. Then we have Swamp and an Ooze token. So that is what I pulled. Nothing amazing, super amazing out of the last two packs. There's better stuff in the top packs. But let me go ahead and start sorting these. I don't think you can see the entire thing because I can't zoom out, and tripod's actually flat and stationary at the moment. If I move it, then it's going to possibly start wobbling and I won't have space for everything. So I'm just going to essentially just sort everything, artifacts down there. Which we have some decent artifacts. We have just a couple white things out of this, but it's nice black and red as well. Okay, that was Innistrad. Moving on to the Dark Ascension. Red, black, red, blue, green, red, green, blue, white, red, red, white, white, token, white flip, and of course land. I'll just put land down here. Of course, if you went and you used the flip card and you didn't have the flip card for that, you're probably a bit screwed there. Unless you could probably just take a land and scribble on the land. Okay, red, white, blue, white, blue, white, blue, green, red, black, artifact, blue, black, green, token and land, token and lands are going to go right over there. I'm running out of space down here because I've got packs stored everywhere down here underneath the tripod. Red, green, white, black, green, red, blue, red, red, black, white, black. Crap card in blue island thingy. Red, green, blue. Oh, great. We're getting into the hybrids. Hybrid and then gold. White, black, blue, green, white, blue. Colorless land. Hybrid and gold. And then the crap card in the swamp. And then green, blue, white, black, hybrid, gold, artifact, white, green, black, gold, red, blue, black, swamp, and a token. Okay, so there you have that much. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with this now. Which I think I'm actually going to pause the video to actually get everything going. But as far as I can tell, I think white, black, red is the most coherent. Because I don't have much in green that I can see mixing with anything. Because mulch isn't going to help. Verdant Haven might help, but that's 3. Some of the other things are like for very specific stuff. Fog, yes, that would help. Wolf Your Silver Heart, yes, that would work well with something. But giant things like Somber Wall, Beast, and like Snare the Sky. Strike a creature gets +1/+1, gains reach until end of turn. I mean, you could, for 1 green, you could use that for the +1/+1. But as far as gaining reach, it's so subjective and sealed where you're probably not gonna go up against much in the way of flyers, and it's probably gonna be like a waste of something you could do that's better. And Verdant Haven's nice, but 3 mana. If you I can't really say in sealed that you want to be able to kill someone in the first few turns, because it's probably not going to happen, since what you're going to get is going to be purely random. It's not what you build and what you know. So, sealed and constructed are 2 different formats completely. You're still playing Magic, but how everything works is so one-sided with each one. Sealed, whoever has the most, or sorry, constructed, whoever has the most money to buy the fanciest cards and buy 4 of each card from every set. I mean, that person's going to be better off. They're going to be winning everything. With sealed, it's your skill and magic and your luck. I mean, there's still some luck in your skill with constructed, but it's more skill of deck building and luck of what you're pulling from your deck that you can play. With sealed, it's your skill in deck building, your skill in knowing when to play things, your luck of what you get from the boosters, and your luck of what you actually pull and what you pull when you need it from your deck. So, from what all I have here, I'm thinking white, black, red, and I can use the Death Cult Rogue, Vassal Soul, and Judge's Familiar, paying white for these two and black for that one. So I could still fit those in, because there aren't going to be many rogues you're going to be going up against. And, well, this format completely is just like new and bizarre to me, taking one pack of every current thing in Standard. But, yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead, turn off the camera, switch into deck building mode, and try and come up with something that is conclusive and could do something. Because anything that says use a gate, I didn't get a single gate out of any of the 2 packs that would have them. I didn't get as much hybrid and gold as I was actually expecting. And even that tends to be more green and blue, but there's not much in green I could get. I could do something with the blue, make it like a control, but there's no winning anything unless I mix blue with something with flyers, which would most likely be white for favorable wins. I could do a little bit of mill with chronic flooding. I mean, there's not much I can do with blue, not much I can do with green that I could see mixing those with another color, because the blue and green here, what they have is not going to be powerful enough or bend anything in any way. Wolfear, Silverheart, and Scab Clan Charge are the best things I have in green, which Wolfear, Silverheart is good, but when you say a 1 green and 3 colorless common is one of your best cards in green because of the Blood Rush +2/+4 on an attacking creature, it really doesn't really say much if that's one of your better green cards that you could actually use. Verdant Haven's nice, but you're thinking time here, what you can do before your opponent can, which without constructed you can't be able to make turn 3, turn 4 kills. So I'm actually going to pause the camera and work out something here, but white, black, red is what I'm actually looking at and thinking is my best bet here. So I will just merge the videos, but yeah, that's what I'm thinking at the moment. Alright, so I'm now back with the deck, and it is exactly 40 cards. It was a little hard to pull off with some things. I had to pick and choose, because land was a little bit tight, being 3 colors, but I pulled out 7-drop, the Sepulchral Primordial, the black double, it was the double black for and 5. I pulled it out because I just put it in there for the giggles and to have something just a little like super powerful if the game went on too long. I took that out in favor of another land. So I'm going to go ahead and start out with creatures. I'm just going to move some of this stuff off to the side, stack it up a bit, just so I don't lose it all. Okay, so starting out with creatures, which I have right here. That was the artifacts, and then the instant sorceries in the land. Okay, so starting out, I have a Typhoid Rats, which of course is the Death Touch 1/1 for a black. That's fine. Basilica Screecher with the Extort and Flying 1/2 for 2 mana. 2 mana for 0/1 with Flying, and you can also pump it to give +1/+0. That's okay. Killing Apparition for 2/2. It's 2 mana for 2/2, and you can destroy an enchantment. If you're playing this, someone probably has an Oblivion Ring, and they're probably using it. So you probably want something to destroy an enchantment. So that would be that. They're not going to waste an O-Ring on this. Because, I mean, why would you O-Ring a 2/2 that can sacrifice to destroy an enchantment unless you've got something more powerful? So, I mean, just for a little bit of enchantment hate there. Throbbing Valiant, Vigilance 2/1 for 2. Nah, that's okay. Torch Fiend 2 for a 2/1 that you can sacrifice if you pay a red to destroy target artifact. I mean, maybe there's an artifact you want to get rid of. Markov Patrician, 3/1 with lifelink. I mean, for 3 mana, that's why I put that in there. 3 mana for a 3/2 that target creature can't block when it enters the battlefield. That's going to be useful. Throbbing Doomsayer, 3 for a 2/2. You can tap to put a 1/1 white human creature token on the battlefield. And as long as you have 5 or less life, other creatures you control are +2/+2. Or get +2/+2. So, I mean, that's pretty useful there. Disciple of Bolas. It's 2/1 for 4 mana. I did it for the card draw and gaining life by sacrificing another creature. Because if this is activated, all other creatures get +2/+2. Power is what's on the card plus these things like the +2/+2. So, I mean, you have it in there for things like that. Or Geist Honored Monk because you have tokens out the wazoo. So, Disciple of Bolas is in there just for the life and draw. Even if you suck something off a 2/2, you still get a 2/1 out of it, and you're getting a little something. Falkenrath Noble, 4 for a 2/2 with flying, that when another creature dies, target player loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. I believe that rule applies with sacrificing things like the sacrificing destroy an enchantment or an artifact, so that would also trigger because your creature's dying by being sacrificed. So, I mean, things like that build off of it. Geist Honored Monk, I mean, 5 mana for something that has power toughness equal to the creatures you control, the number of creatures you control, and you get 2 1/1 white spirit creatures with flying when this enters. So, I mean, that helps. Markov Warlord, 6 mana for 4/4 with haste, and 2 creatures can't block this turn when it enters the battlefield. I mean, 6 mana, you would hope you don't get there, but if you do, that'll be worth it. So that's the creature base. Artifact base is a Trepanation Blade just for the added power on the creature. And then Traveler's Amulet is the just searching for a basic land. Because if you have this in 1 land, on turn 2 you probably want to sacrifice this and get something else, because you're going to need the extra mana and shuffling. So that's why that's in there. It just comes in handy. Alright, other spells. Banners Raised, +1/+0 until end of turn for all your creatures. Useful. Aerial Maneuver, target creature gets +1/+1, gains flying and first strike until end of turn. Useful. Burning Oil, 2 for 3 damage to target attacking or blocking creature, and flashback of 4. I mean, not bad. You could use that for something. Gather the Townsfolk, 2 1/1 white human creature tokens for 2 mana, or 5 of you. If you have 5, you get 5 of your 5 or less life. So for 2 mana, that's not bad. Show of Valor, target creature gets +2/+4 until end of turn for 2 mana. For 3 mana, you can steal another creature. It gains trample and haste till end of turn. Trumpet Blast. Your attacking creatures get +2/+0, or attacking creatures get +2/+0. You could put that on an opponent, but why would you? But, I mean, that would be useful. Essence Drain, 5 mana to deal 3 damage and gain 3 life. You kill a creature and you gain 3 life off of it. That's not bad. So, of course, if I was actually in this and those were the packs I got and I played that game, this would be the deck I would build. I think it's fairly competitive. You have all the token stuff. You got a little bit of Death Touch, Extort, Flying, some hate for enchantments and artifacts. You've got some life gain, lifelink. You got the tokens. You have the creatures. The opponent can't block stuff. Pumping creatures. I mean, you have tokens, you're pumping them, and you're doing other awesome stuff with them. So, I mean, that's why that. So, alright. 6 plains, because I have 7 white cards in here. 5 swamp, because there are 7 white cards, and 2 of them are double white, which is why there's 6 plains. There are 5 swamps, because there are 6 black cards in there, I believe. And then there are 6 mountains, because there are 2 double red and 8 there. And also one of the reds is a white flashback, so that's the mana curve there, why I did that. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you how this works. I haven't seen this myself, but let's see, I'm going to try shuffling actually on camera. I'm just going to mix everything together and then mix the land in. But I have these in alphabetical order by mana. Not by mana color, but by mana, converted mana cost. There we go. But I would definitely run this. I think I'd be proud to run it, because it's hard to define. And since we're talking about this deck right now, if you had opened the packs I did and you saw what I opened, what would you build out of it? Like, what sort of things would you try and do? Would you do what I did and take things that give you tokens, pump your creatures, and also give you ways to, like, stop artifacts or enchantments that are just, like, right there in your face that you don't want? Or, okay, you know what, one of these, this sleeve is for some reason bigger than the rest, so I'm taking that out and replacing it with another one. Which, okay, so, back on the topic. Let me know if you would have done something different, like if you saw a different combo with, like, green, blue, black, or you could have put something completely together with green and blue, or you could have used a different color or different build. What would you have done, given what I pulled and you saw what I got? Is there something else you would have added? Something else you would have used? I mean, just if there's something you would have changed in comparison to what I would have done. I'm curious about what other people would actually do with the pulls I made. So let me know in the comments below, or like send me a message and I'll put it in the description if you want, or something, or I'll put an annotation on. But just, like, let me know what you would do with the things I was lucky or unlucky enough to get. Also, quick product plug. These aren't penny sleeves, which you can get 100 for $1 or 100 for 75 cents or whatever. These are nickel sleeves, or what I'm calling nickel sleeves, because you get 50 for $2.50. So for $2.50 you get 50 of these. They're like thick like the other Ultra Pro things, but they're clear, they don't break as easily. And I actually have like 3 packs of these that I use for drafting and sealed events, because I need 40 cards, so 50 sleeves is easy if I want to like do 45 cards instead of 40, or if one of them actually does break, I have extras, or if there was something like really amazing I pulled that I don't want to use in the deck, put in a sleeve. So if you do any drafting or sealed deck stuff and you don't have a set of sleeves, find some like clear sleeves for like $2.50 that are like thicker ones, and you can get like 50 of them. It works great. I like them. That's why I have a couple sets of them. So I highly recommend getting some of those if you do drafting and sealed and don't use sleeves. Because, I mean, if you use sleeves normally and you don't have sleeves just for like drafting and sealed, get some cheap ones like I did. They're thicker. Each sleeve is just like 5 cents, and this is like the 10th time I'm using this particular pack. I actually opened it enough times I had to use tape to keep it shut so things don't like dump out in my book bag. Okay, moving on to the deck. We're just gonna look at the 7 here. I'm not even gonna bother cutting it, doing anything fancy like that. I shuffled it. I'm tired of shuffling. Okay, I like what I'm seeing right away. I have banners raised. I have banners raised. Treacherous Blood, Basilica Screecher, Disciple of Bolus will be saving, and I have one of every color of mana. This is the perfect hand right here. Well, not perfect. Typhoid Rats would have been nice, but excuse me. But I mean, right off the bat, if you're playing, drop a swamp, draw, burning oil. Okay, that would be pretty useful. But drop a red, put down a Basilica Screecher, you have a 1/2 with flying now. Untap, draw. Okay, at this point you drop planes, you got 4 mana. You can do almost anything at this point. Or, actually not really, you need double for the Treacherous Blood, but I mean, how about this? Banners raised right now. You make it a 2/2. Not that you really do this. Also pay the extort cost for it. So you gain a life, your opponent loses a life, and you swing for 2 in the air. I mean, it's not the best combo right there, but it's what you have. It's what you have starting out. You just extorted, so you gained a life, and they lost 3 this turn. So, what? Untap, draw, Traveler's Amulet. I mean, personally, I'd pay, sacrifice, search for a mountain in the hand, shuffle. So now you can do the Treacherous Blood. And you swing for 2 again, so they're probably down to like 15 at this point on turn 4. So, I mean, it's not the best thing, but, I mean, so far it's working out pretty well. You now have, on turn 5, you will have hit a land drop for each turn. I mean, of course, this isn't going to work the way you want it to every single time, but it works decently. So, that's in your hand. You already played a land this turn, so you can't do anything. Untap, draw, mountain. Why don't you just drop a Keening Apparition? You can extort it. Next turn, you're still hitting your land drops. You got a swamp now. You got double everything. Don't have to worry about anything. You can steal an opponent's creature, extort for it, and then kill another creature. Well, no, you couldn't because you don't have the red. But steal one of the creatures, keep beating them over the heads with stuff. Draw, swamp. At this point, you could like kill a creature, extort off of it. Disciple of Bolus. Or sacrifice this. You destroy an O-ring on something. You gain 2 life. You draw 2 cards. Look, you hit your land drop next turn. And then you get to attack with a +2/+0. You've extorted your next land drop. You just hit every land drop for the next few turns. And you will have cast 3 creatures, a few spells, a few burn spells against their creatures. You would have taken their stuff, you would have pumped your creatures. Another creature there, Trepanation Blade on something. I mean, right now we're going through the deck. We've already hit most of the land already, so we can do anything. That shuffle really helped from the Traveler's Amulet, but the deck works. And as you can see, I used cards from every single set. There's Gatecrash, Innistrad, M13, Return to Ravnica, Dark Ascension, and then Avacyn Restored. Like, actually, you know what? Here, just represent it right here. Dark Ascension. Or, let's see here. Innistrad, Dark Ascension, Avacyn Restored, M13, Return to Ravnica, and Gatecrash. There's a representative of at least one of each, one card from each set, a representative in this deck. And it's amazing you can actually put together a deck with one of each booster pack, but it's possible they ran a tournament at PAX, and I mean, you just saw right here, I just ran a interesting red, white, black deck using cards from each set currently in Standard, so I mean, I'd say that's pretty successful, and I'd be proud to run this deck. It might do decently well, might not do so well after, like, this second or third round, because I'd be getting to the better and better people, or the people that were just luckier and pulled planeswalkers and dual lands and stuff. So yeah, there you have it. A sealed deck using one booster pack from each current set and standard. Hope you enjoy.